Alright, and we're back. Starting with the rear of the boat. This compartment here is a bait well, and that bucket is removable. But it is kind of handy if you're keeping small minnows or something in there, just to use that. And then the water will, of course, recirculate the minnows as they're in the bucket. This is a side storage unit here. And moving forward, there's a rod locker on both sides of the boat. They each hold 7 rods, and you can kind of see this is a system that they use. The rods are held in place in the back by those bands as well as the shelving. And then in front, there's a tube that extends all the way up into the very front of the bow, and there you can kind of see the way the tube system is set up. So your rods are very secure and held in place as you're moving down the road or across the lake. So essentially you can stow up to 14 rods, and if you're really creative you can get a couple more in there, and I've never actually had to store any more than that myself. So this particular compartment I use for storage, but it is designed more of a cooler, and you can see that there's an access panel there, so you can get to some of the electronic connections and stuff that run through the bow of the boat. And then the very bottom there's also a drain plug. This is the built-in storage unit here, or storage container. And then there's a secondary one here that's quite a bit smaller. You can see that one's not quite as deep. It's great for your wallet or a remote for your trolling motor, any kind of small item. Beyond that is a front live well. And then over on this direction, well, I should get up to the bow. That's pretty much what we're dealing with for storage. And then we go right into the electronics and the trolling motor and the marine radio that are up in front. So these guys right here, while I'm up here, are used to, by some people anyway, store rods. They're called a rod buckle. So if you're running across the lake, you can simply thread your rod through the bottom here, and then that'll help hold your rod down. I've used it for other applications as well. And then there's one here and one on the opposite side over here. So getting back to the opposite side of the boat, working our way down, this is another rod storage locker. It's identical, 7 rods. Looks just like the one that I showed you on the other side. A lot of times, as you can see, I use it as an additional storage compartment. And you can see here that I've got a rod holder here, which I actually use for a net holder when I'm out fishing. Kind of keeps things up and out of the way. And then this is your main or your largest live well here. So you can store fish in there. Sometimes I'll even put bait in there if we're using larger minnows or something like that. So essentially you've got 3 different live wells or bait wells in the boat. And then this is your control panel here. As well as the radio. So what we'll do then is to get anything powered up, but the first thing we have to do is just turn the key here, and what you'll hear is a small beep. You don't want to turn it all the way. It's kind of like your car. It's just through the first click, and that will engage the power to any of the electronic systems in the boat. So after the beep is stopped, then you'll be ready to go as far as using all the electronic components. If you turn it any further than that, it'll actually start the engine. So I'm going to come back here and I'm going to pause, and just to show you that all the pumps are in order. The controller for all the pumps are over here. What I'll do is I'll run through them, and I'll probably have my wife hold the camera hopefully close enough to all the pumps, which are conveniently located right back here behind the driver's seat underneath this access panel. You simply just pull that up, and then below there the first 3 are individual pumps for the live well system. And then you can't quite see it from this angle, but just about right under here are the dual bilge pumps. So what I'll do is maybe ask her to come up here and just hold the phone down close, and then I'll turn all of them on just so you can hear that they are operational.